Well, I'm Bill Cowles, and I'm the Orange County Supervisor of Elections. Well, it's interesting. I'm a native Floridian, born and raised in Miami, came to a small school here in Central Florida called Florida Technological University, now known as the University of Central Florida. And I graduated from there knowing, because I'm an Eagle Scout, that I was going to work for the Boy Scouts of America. So I spent 13 years at the Boy Scouts office and had worked myself up to the #2 position. And I then recruited the then supervisor of elections for Orange County to be on the Boy Scout board. And then she turned around and recruited me to be her #2 here at the elections office. So I was her chief deputy for 7 years. And then back in 1996, I got elected for the first time as the supervisor of elections. Well, the joke is we only work 2 days every other year. But in actuality, we conduct elections for city, state, county, and federal offices. And so we do city elections in the spring, we do the other elections in the fall. And so we do have elections going on every year. But also on top of that, we're responsible for voter registration. And so it's our job to keep the voter registration roll active with new registrations, but also we take in people who moved out of the county, people who moved out of the state, people who die and we have to remove them from the rolls, people who change their addresses locally, political parties. So it's a constant process of keeping our roll up to date. And of course, since we are in a county that is rapidly growing, we're now up to almost 850,000 registered voters just here in Orange County. So those are the two major jobs, conducting elections and doing voter registration. But we all have some ministerial duties too, where reports are filed here with our office. But everybody knows us mainly from elections and voter registration. To me, that means you're involved in your community, you're aware of what's going on in your community, and your community can be both local in a city, a county, it could be at your school, it could be in a group that Little League, Boy Scouts, and those. Be aware of what's going on and be attuned and be willing to speak up and participate and have a say at how it should be, how you believe things should be, and express yourself. And that's being part of the community and being civically involved. Well, I think voting matters because you have your say. And so you don't want to be that person who later complains about what happened, especially if you didn't have your say, and that is by participating in the voting process and the decision making of who's out there making the decisions for you. And so it starts locally. And I think that's one of the problems with our pyramid on voting is everything's focused on the president, but it's actually the other way around. It's more about what happens locally, and those are the ones who are making decisions about your life every day, whether it be a city commission, county commission, and particularly school board members who are making decisions about what life is in school, and is awful crazy right now with the pandemic. Well, find a friend, maybe somebody that you can sit down and talk through the process. If you're voting at your early voting site or at a polling place on election day, we send out sample ballots. And so one of the things is to sit down and with your family, with friends, and review your sample ballot and then ask questions about what does this mean? What's this question mean? What does this job do? And then talk about who the candidates are, and then pre-mark your sample ballot. And then when you go to the polling place, all you have to do is transfer your mark to your actual ballot, and you don't spend time studying it there. You've done your homework ahead of time. And with vote by mail, where we mail you the ballot, you have that ability to do it right on your ballot prior to sending it back. Well, there's several ways, and again, part of it is what your communities are and where you're involved. I mean, just with school, every school has some type of student council, they have some student government associations, and that's all more about the organization and politics probably on it. But if you're not interested in that, there are clubs, there are organizations. So join a club that matches a topic that you're interested in, and begin to find out what are the barriers to success or what do you need to do to change, and so you can start at that level. We want to make sure that young students are prepared when it comes time to voting, and we have several programs that we do through the school system. Some kids may not recognize it being us, but in the elementary and middle schools, there's the Sunshine State Young Readers Award Program, where the state gives out a list of 15 books prior to the election, prior to the school year, and they can read as many books as they want. But at the school level, they say if you've read 3 books or more, you get to come and vote for your favorite book out of the ones that you read. And so we provide our machine, we provide the ballots, and the kids get to vote on a regular ballot, which is teaching them what a ballot looks like for election. And once they vote, they get their I voted sticker that they can wear around school. So we're starting at that age, just getting them familiar with the voting machine. And then when you get to the high schools, we conduct the student government elections for all of the high schools. The student government students actually conduct the election, but we provide the machine, we provide the ballots, and at the same time, we offer voter registration to those, because Florida law allows 16 and 17-year-olds to pre-register to vote, and so they get to do that as part of the experience at the high school. So hopefully they're not intimidated by the voting machine when they get of 18 years of age and they can vote in person for the first time.